Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. Do me a quick favor, smash that like on your way in. I have great news for you. Good to see you on AC Cruise. And anyways, anybody, please smash the like and chat in with where you're from so I can see who's on this stream. I'm really excited about this news. So as people are joining, I'll start this up. But this is out of Texas. This is Ken Paxton, and he is suing Pfizer. And you're going to wait till you hear what he has to say. This is following his investigation into the company. So this is wild. So this was a press release from Ken Paxton. It only came out 2 hours ago. This is fresh, hot off the presses, people. So again, smash that like, chat in with where you're from, and go check out my sponsor. As always, mention them, MyPillow, mypillow.com. Promo code Lumberjack for big, big savings. All right, so here we go. Attorney General Ken Paxton sues Pfizer for misrepresenting the jab efficacy and conspiring to censor public discourse. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has sued Pfizer Inc. for unlawfully misrepresenting the effectiveness of the product and attempting to censor public discussion of the product. Pfizer engaged in false, deceptive, and misleading acts and practices by making unsupported claims regarding the jab in violation of the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act. The pharmaceutical company's widespread representation that it was 95% effective was highly misleading. That metric represented a calculation of the so-called relative risk reduction for jabbed individuals in Pfizer's initial 2-month clinical trial results. FDA publications indicate relative risk reduction is a misleading statistic that unduly influences consumer choice. Pfizer was also put on notice at that time that vaccine protection could not accurately be predicted beyond 2 months. Nevertheless, Pfizer fostered a misleading impression that jab protection was durable and withheld from the public information that determined its claims about the duration of protection. And despite the fact that its clinical trial failed to measure whether the jab protects against transmission, Pfizer embarked on a campaign to intimidate the public into getting it in a necessary measure to protect their loved ones. In fact, Pfizer's product failed to live up to the company's representations. Cases increased after widespread jab administration, and some areas saw a greater percentage of deaths from the pandemic among the jab population versus the unjabbed. When the failure of its product became apparent, Pfizer then pivoted to silencing truth tellers, the lawsuit notes. How did Pfizer respond when it became apparent that its jab was failing and the viability of its cash cow was threatened? By intimidating those who spread information to the contrary, and by conspiring to censor its critics. Pfizer labeled as criminals, direct quote, those who spread facts about the jab. It accused them of spreading misinformation. Again, direct quote. These are all from Pfizer. He's quoting them. And it coerced social media platforms to silence prominent truth tellers. We are pursuing justice for the people of Texas, many of whom were coerced by mandates to take a defective product sold by lies, said Attorney General Ken Paxton. The facts are clear. Pfizer did not tell the truth, whereas the Biden administration weaponized the pandemic to force illegal public health decrees on the public and enrich companies. I will use every tool I have to protect our citizens who are misled and harmed by Pfizer's actions. The lawsuit follows Attorney General Paxton's investigation into Pfizer and other manufacturers announced earlier this year. So, people, this is huge because Ken Paxton is like the greatest attorney general in the entire country. Him and the attorney generals of Louisiana and Missouri, hence the Missouri v. Biden case. All of this is coming around the same thing. And we actually have 3 attorney generals in the nation that are willing to fight back against this stuff. I went on a live stream earlier today, and you can see the effects of a quote-unquote Republican administration that has absolutely no interest in pursuing justice for the citizens that elected. That was out of New Hampshire. If you missed that live stream, I highly encourage you to catch it. I will try to do a short form video on that as well, so you can share that content around a little bit easier. But the bottom line is, Ken Paxton was actually, did you know they filed articles of impeachment against him? That's right, a conservative, quote unquote, Republican-led legislature down in Texas filed articles of impeachment against Ken Paxton, the one who is willing to go after and sue the people. And what's so amazing about this too, you have to consider, is that it used to be people on the left were opposed to big business. They questioned big business. And now that big business is in with big government in a major way, and that is a change that occurred over the course of the 90s into the 2000s is when this change really started to occur. You know, really with the last financial crisis is where it went absolutely nuts. But, you know, there was the S&L bailout back in the 80s. But now liberals seem to think that big business is the answer to all your problems. And small business is the negative. And free people speaking freely is the negative. That is the new Democrat Party. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, you know, this right now, as I went over that whole letter by Ken Paxton, that whole press release, and if you just jumped on the stream, you're going to have to go back and catch all that. Smash that like if you would. This is great news that we actually have a conservative attorney general who is willing to pursue cases like this, even when it's not popular amongst the uniparty Republicans. And those are the people, those are the power brokers, don't kid yourself, in the Republican Party who control donor money. So Ken Paxton is taking real political risk, as are the attorney generals of Missouri and Louisiana, when they pursue these cases, in spite of all the objections. The people like, you know, this hack up in New Hampshire, they're not taking any political risk. None at all. In fact, what they are doing is approved by the uniparty. Yet Ken Paxton is doing something that is completely unapproved by them. And he is actually suing the largest jab manufacturer in the country, with offices all over the world, with untold billions of dollars. And these billions of dollars influence Congress disproportionately. The number one industry in lobbying dollars to hundreds of billions, okay, hundreds of billions of dollars, is pharmaceuticals. They're number one. It's not even close. You guys think the military-industrial complex is bad? This is where the money is. It's in pharmaceuticals. And just think of how we are all becoming sicker in this country. Not all of us. I'm here at the health club, man. I'm staying fit. I'm staying healthy. And I'm eating right. And I'm not going down that path. I don't want to. There's a story in the Bible of Joshua and Caleb. And I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, many of you know Joshua and Caleb and the 12 spies in the promised land and all of that. But remember, Joshua and Caleb were the two faithful spies who said, yes, the giants are there, but we can take it. We can take the land because God is with us. Anyways, Caleb, years later, after they march into the promised land, cross the Jordan River, he's in front of the whole assembly. And Joshua's up there, you know, making his big speech. And yay, we took the promised land and everything, but they hadn't taken it all yet. And Caleb said to Joshua, he goes, he interrupted, you know, right there at the whole assembly, in front of everybody, in front of all of Israel. He said, Joshua, remember what our father Moses promised me by God, my inheritance, my share of the promised land. Now you need to understand, he needed to go take the hills where the giants were, okay? He had to still go take it. It wasn't just there for the taking. He had to go in and rout the enemy, and they were the giants. And he went in, but before he went in, he said, look at me. It's 45 years now, or 40 years now since then. That would make him 85 years old. He said, I am just as strong and vigorous in battle now as I was then. So, you guys can all be just as strong and vigorous in battle at 85 as you were at 45, 40, 85, 40. Okay, I'm getting the years confused. Anyway, 85, then 40. So, anyways, I just want to tell you that. So, you don't need to be sick with the rest of the populace. You don't need to take everything they're shoving down your throat. I think prescription drug care was absolutely one of the worst things, how they put that into Medicare, Medicaid. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me because they think they need all these prescription drugs. And I'm not denying that there are some who need certain things, but they've got people on 20 pills to face the side effects of the pills previous that they just had them take. To get me to take an aspirin is an act of God. I mean, I got to have a headache that's at an 11, okay, to do that. I just don't want their stuff. So anyways, thank you all so much for joining me on this quick live stream. I love you all. Keep fighting the good fight. Smash the like button on your way out. And go support Mike Lindell over at mypillow.com/lumberjack, promo code lumberjack. Voodoo Crab, good to see you on. Peace out, people.